with the ability to unlock via fingerprint, PIN, NFC and Apple HomeKey, as well as Matter over Thread support and many more features and accessories. The AQARA U200 is an epic retrofit smart lock, so hit subscribe now and we'll see what this thing can do. So full disclosure before we get started though, the video is sponsored by AQARA, and they've sent me the Smartlock, the video doorbell and the window and door sensor to showcase to you guys. So straight up, this is one of the coolest products I've reviewed on the channel, and it's just made coming home so much more hassle-free now. I don't have to worry about carrying a key around, and having a video doorbell with a remote unlockable door just opens a whole new world of opportunities for deliveries. So if we start with the install, I was surprised at how easy it was to install. You just download the AQARA app from the App Store, and then you can manually select the device you want to install, or simply just press Add New Device and scan the QR code. And then the app is going to take you through the step-by-step install process, and it even gives you some illustrations. Now the install is going to be slightly different depending on your type of lock, and there's guides on their website that are going to tell you if your lock is compatible before you actually make the purchase. But basically, if you've got an inside latch like me, then the install is easy. And if you've got a key inside to lock, then you just need to make sure it's got the emergency function where you can still unlock the door from the outside even with the key still in the inside. But if you can't do that though, there is a separate cylinder that you can also get from AQARA. But as you can see, I've got a latch inside, so all I had to do was take the latch off, pick the correct adapter from all of the supplied adapters from AQARA, and then add on the backplate. Now if your lock profile comes out 3 centimeters or more, then you can screw the backplate into place, but mine is actually incredibly slim, making it not possible, and for this instance they provide an adhesive pad to stick to the door. Now I was a bit dubious about sticking it to the door, but after installing it there's no worries at all as it is very much stuck there. I can pull on it hard and it just doesn't budge at all. And there's also no need to worry in future, because if you do need to remove it, you can just use a hairdryer or a heat gun to soften the adhesive and then it easily pulls off. But once that's done, we can simply put the lock together and insert the battery. We then run through a calibration process so the AQARA U200 knows where the lock positions are, and once we have it all set up, we can go ahead and add the keypad. So I just wanted to make sure everything's working before I put it up on the wall outside, so press the lock button. So it goes to the lock and stops. Just check my door is fully locked, and then that will be on the wall. Press the fingerprint. Unlocks nice and quickly. Now the keypad has the option to be either stuck down or screwed into place, and I've stuck it down for now, and then in a few weeks if I'm 100% happy with this placement, I'll screw it into the frame, but the adhesive method is completely fine. Also ignore the plates above the keypad as this is something I had installed previously and I need to remove. Now we've also got the M3 hub here, and basically if you want to use the AQARA products over Thread, then you need to get their M3 hub or any other hub that supports Thread, but if you don't have a Thread router, you can still use them over Bluetooth. So just to give you a quick example, it may be hard to hear with all the traffic there. If we lock the door, you see it's locked. We use my fingerprint. Unlock. Again, press lock. It's now locked. Fingerprint. It's unlocked. Show you again, lock. Took a while that time, but you see it's now locked. Fingerprint. It's unlocked. Now through the AQARA application on your smartphone, you can add different users and set the unlock types, and you can enter passwords, add NFC devices and also add your fingerprints. And as you can see, I've got fingerprints stored for both thumbs and both fingers, so it doesn't matter which one I use, and I'm just thinking if I've got something in one hand I can use the other, and it just makes unlock easy every time. Now the fingerprint unlock is mainly how I've been using the U200, and it just works well every time and it's the easiest to do. But the NFC is also useful if you've got your phone or watch out. Whenever I go for a run, I only take my watch with me, and I always have to hide the house key somewhere as I've got nowhere to securely hold it. But now there's absolutely no need thanks to the U200. I don't even have to worry about a key, and I just go for my run, come home, press the fingerprint, and it unlocks my door. Now each user can have 5 fingerprints, 2 passwords and 2 NFC tags, and to be honest, if you wanted more than that, you could just make 2 users that are actually yourself. Now I've also got a bedtime routine where I say, hey Google, it's time for bed. It then closes my curtain, turns off my decking lights outside, turns off all of the lamps in the house, and it then puts the radio on a low volume for the dog. But now I've got the U200 Smartlock, I've added lock the front door on top of this routine, and this means that not only is it another thing I don't have to do in the evening, but it's also more secure as I'm never going to forget to lock the door. So that's the basic functions out the way, but the lock has been really thought out in the way it works and all of the different modes that it offers. For a start, if you did ever let it run out of battery, then you can still use a key to lock or unlock the door, and the app tells you the battery percentage, so you're going to get plenty of warning before that happens. Now the battery is also easy to charge as you can just pop it out from the inside and then charge via USB-C cable, and the keypad takes actual batteries. There are plenty of customizations for the U200, and first we have the voice and sound where you can customize the sounds and their different volumes. We've got the auto lock mode where you can choose either auto locking when the door is detected as closed, or after you've used any remote unlock functions. If the door doesn't move, then it can automatically lock again. We've got the quiet mode that lets us adjust the speeds, and basically if the lock actually unlocks slower, then it's going to be quieter, and you can choose from the different settings. But in all honesty, for me, I really don't think it's loud at all on the fastest setting, so I'll just show you the speeds and the volumes now. Now we've got failed attempt lockout, which is going to lock you out after 10 failed attempts, and you can customize how long this lockout time is. We've got night latch mode, and once you enable this, it means it's properly locked from the inside, and only the admin, Bluetooth, and emergency key can unlock it. We've got auto turn lock, which I actually use all the time, and it's just for when you're actually on the inside and you want to lock or unlock manually as you used to do with your latch or key. And all you have to do is just turn it slightly in the direction you want to go, and then the U200 is going to take over and do the rest. And this just makes sense, as if you're inside and you want to quickly lock or unlock the door, you don't want to have to get your phone out and go through all that when you could just turn it. Now under lock configuration, you just choose if it's an EU or a USA lock, and you also have the option to use the pull spring feature. And then you can choose lock modes from standard, which includes the remote access, to Bluetooth only, do not disturb mode if you don't want any notifications from the lock. And then we've also got passage mode, which is going to stop the door being locked automatically. And then finally, we've got the calibration where you can choose automatic or manual calibration. And I used the automatic calibration when setting it up, and it's worked flawlessly. As well as having this epic smart lock, AQARA also sent me their G4 video doorbell as well as a door and window sensor, and this means I've now got full control of my front door remotely. As I said, you're going to need a thread hub for remote access, and the M3 hub they provide works great. I just love how easy it is to set up by scanning the Matter QR codes, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is done for you. Now the doorbell comes with a chime, which I like because not only does it safely store your SD card inside your house, but it's also an indoor chime, which is always useful with a video doorbell. If you don't have a chime and you don't have your phone on you, then you may not know someone's at the door. Now the chime is also customizable, and you can choose from 3 different doorbells, or you can even add your own custom ones. But as you can see, we get great 1080p video from the doorbell, and of course, if anyone presses the doorbell, it rings the chime and rings my phone, so if I'm out and about, I can answer and speak to whoever's at the door. Hello? You alright?
Yeah, can I come in?
Yeah, I'll just unlock the door for you now. There you go. Now, of course, the doorbell also records all of the events, so you can watch them back afterwards. And the thing I like about this setup now is that if I'm out and about and I get some post, it's my usual post lady, I can unlock the door for her to place the parcel inside and then lock it when she closes the door, which is incredibly useful for important packages. But of course, if you don't know the delivery driver, then it's not going to be a sensible idea to unlock your door to strangers. Now if we just take a look at the live feed, you can start recording videos from here, you can take screenshots from here, and you can also enable the two-way audio if you want to speak to someone that you can see in the video feed. And it even gives us a voice changer so you can choose from these different voices if you don't want the person hearing your real voice. You can see below the feed, we've got all of the recorded events, and then at the bottom, we can also select the timeline there. And this is if we want to go through and select a specific time to play back. Now under services, you can opt in for their cloud storage, which not only provides you with unlimited encrypted storage in the cloud, but you also get intelligent alarm recording, remote check of videos even if the device is offline, and you also get app downloading and video sharing. But the great thing about the G4 is that if you prefer to just store things on the SD card, then you can. Now there's also plenty of customizations, and you can see it shows me how good the doorbell signal is. We can customize the working mode, indicator light, language, power usage, as well as the alarms. And as I said earlier, we can adjust the ringtone volume as well as selecting a new one or even adding your own custom one. Now you can add a time watermark to the video recordings, add lens correction, although this will affect the facial recognition. And you can also adjust the night vision, but personally I'd recommend leaving it on auto so it switches automatically to the infrared mode when it gets dark. And then the final section, we can set a privacy occlusion area, and this is just somewhere if you've got a bit of movement that's always happening and you don't want it to be triggering events. Then under detection, you've got full customization of detection, and this is from face alerts, loitering alerts if people are hanging around outside your house. We've also got customization on the ring alerts as well as the tamper alerts. And for those of you that want the face alerts, all you have to do is go into face management, and you can then go in here, add faces and give them names so that the doorbell knows who everyone is. Now finally, we've got the P2 door and window sensor, and this works via a magnet. So you simply stick one piece on the bit that's going to open and close, and then the other side to the wall, and it can give you the current status of the door or window. Not only is this useful if you want to monitor or trigger some smart events based on a door or window being open or closed, but you can also review a log of how many times it was open during the day. But overall, it's a great ecosystem, and I have to say the lock is one of the best things I've reviewed in some time. It was really easy to install, and it's not only added so much more convenience to me going out and coming home, but it's also the added safety aspect with the door locking being part of my bedtime routine, which means I can't forget to lock the door. The Matter and Thread support is great because many of you are already going to have Thread compatible hubs like Apple HomePod or some of the Nest hubs, and for those of you that don't, AQARA of course supply the M3 hub. The lock, the doorbell and the door sensor all being in the same ecosystem in AQARA Home just makes things much easier to view as you've now got everything in one place. Now of course I've placed the links down in the description below, so if you want to check it out and turn your lock into a smart lock, then go ahead and take a look. Now sorry if I've gone on a bit there, but I wanted to try and explain everything and every feature that these products can do. And of course, if there is anything I've missed or you've got any questions at all, then just ask in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest tech.